Hello YouTube, and welcome back to another wonderful episode of Too Many Projects and Not Enough Space. At least that's... wait, never mind. Never mind, I digress. So, here's where we're at. This project's half done. This project's half done. We look down here. This project's half done. The power connection project is half done. This is not done as well as I was hoping to get to. I had some plans for this over here. This is a lot of real estate that we're going to be taking advantage of. This got done though. So we did the we finally got the tunnel the tunnel words zip line going. So that's cool. I thought that's pretty neat, you know, tunnel zip line for all my friends. And theoretically, we could do some more of that, you know. That saves, I don't know if that actually saves them much in the grand scheme of things, honestly. But it looks like it's a little less painful for them to get around. I don't know. We'll see. When, well, it's less ugly. Okay, so that's all that matters. And then I had this little side project going on, and I don't know if they've even built this. They haven't. Again, we're out of planks. Well, we're not completely out of planks now, because they picked up a lot of the planks that we had down in this mess that we created earlier. So that being able to recoup some of that was actually quite helpful. And it looks like they've already cleaned up the majority of that as well. So that is good to see. And I want to, while we have this down and it's the middle of the night, no beavers should be in here. Means we can rip those stairs out so we can prevent the beavers from actually going down there and doing something ridiculous like getting stuck in a tide of poo water, which is not good for their health. That being said, we need to connect this. I would like to connect the power that's going to be running out through here up to here somehow. So that's going to be probably running over here inside one more from where it's at right there, and then popping up probably right here along this path. And then that's where we're going to connect up all of our large windmills, or we'll drop this down further one way or the other. We'll get the power situated and get that underneath, and that will provide us a way to run the power over here. So that's one of the plan things that we're going to knock out today. Another thing, as soon as this bad tide that we're about to get ends, if it does end within this episode, if we have another 30-day bad tide, we may not actually get through it all, but if we do, then we'll be able to get in there, hopefully have recouped the majority of our planks by that time, and stored up enough logs as well for us to get in here and to put in a bunch of those power wheels. We can connect this power system to this, and subsequently this power system to this, and then this back into here, and then we can continue to expand our industry on this end. And on that front, I did want to get in here, blast this down a little bit so that we could have a flat workspace and we can expand a little bit more of our power over here, or we just rip all this out and this can all be industry and we'll flatten all this out. I don't know. I have not decided. It feel like it's a waste of power to rip those out, so might as well, you know, it could be like an ode to the beginnings of our Timberborn run on the hollows. Anyway, I digress. Let's go ahead and get the game rocking and rolling. Let's see how things are going back in here. Things are moving, so that is good. We've got all of these. These are all just waiting on planks, which we've already collected, so that is good. That means that those should be moving into here. That's awesome. That means that the rest of this should all get done and finalized relatively soon. Yes. Yes, the things are moving into place. What we could do is just run the power underneath here. I think that might be the best course of action for us, honestly. That way we could just run the power over here, down here, and then that punts around back out this side and then over here. I think that would probably be the best way of going about that. I do want to... Once we can confirm that this system works as advertised, then we can tear all of this out, and once all this drains or evaporates, then we can rip all this out, clean up this little portion, maybe clear up that little overhang right there, just so it doesn't look like it was unintentionally broken, if you will. And then that will give us plenty to work with. Or we could just let the water, instead of damming this off or putting levees in right here, any extra water just goes up and out. I don't have a concern with that personally. There is an exit for it, so it's not going to spill over and cause a problem for our beavers. So that's all that really matters in the end. And we are about to hit our bad tide. They just finished the rest of these large windmills for us. We've got this last one for them to just slap 1 or 2 times, and that'll be complete. And I haven't done anything to run the power. So let's go ahead. We'll just rip this path out right here. And we'll run this power under here. And we'll run it this way. Realizing I just made a mistake. Let's pause the game real quick and let's go on top of that. And I don't want to accidentally grab one of our platforms there either. So let's do that. And let us go ahead. And we'll do a platform right here. And then we will put this right here. And then we just run this across the bottom. There we go. And that should be simple because we can't really go up and through that platform. There's not a way for the power to transfer through there as far as I'm aware. And that should be relatively simple. We've got plenty of logs to run all of that. And it's just a matter of hitting this button. Or what I thought would be relatively simple. It's just hitting that button right there and letting them do the things. But alas, I am mistaken. Which means that needs to go. And then this needs to come over here, and then we come over here. Kind of still want that recessed. I want that down, but I can't really go down because I've already got all those platforms in position, so that's not working. That's not going to work. Cool. All the bad tide, though, is doing what it's supposed to do. So that is good. All of this is clean water in there. All of this is bad water going that way. Awesome. And that will allow us to put in a bunch of water wheels in here, take advantage of what little area we can back in here, which will be fantastic. If we wanted to get crazy with it, we could do some sort of snake back and forth and then go down into the mountainside and all that other jazz, which would be actually pretty neat. Maybe we can think about doing that in the future. But for now, it's a method for us to punt the bad water out the other side without it being a problem in here, and we can just rip out all of this mess that we created originally. It's a good mess to have had created originally. Probably could have saved a lot of time, effort, and energy just doing this in the first place, but my brain wasn't there, and well, now we've got it done. So that's all that really matters in the end. We have a way to actually get things accomplished. So that is good. And they can't touch any of that because reasons. And I do want to go ahead and probably rip this out. If we tear this out and put that right there, then we probably save this zip line beam right here, potentially, theoretically. Yeah, let's go ahead. So let's go ahead and rip that down, or sorry. Click that button, and then tear this out. That shouldn't cause a problem for anybody, allegedly. And then we go ahead and come in here. We grab this zipline station, rip this out. I'm fine with losing that, and we are still within range of both of those. So that means that we can add that connection, and we can add this connection with this bad Johnny right there without any consternation. Cool. That gives us a lot more real estate to work with. Once that is in, we can actually tear this path out and we can start blasting this down, which will be good. And I want to how do I want to tackle this? Let's do this side or just down here. Maybe this back end. That should be okay. Maybe a little bit more. And then that will give us a nice flat piece of real estate to work with. And then, actually, I kind of want to do doubles down on some of these so that we can put all of our large windmills on top of the, what are they called? The things, the vertical power shafts, so that we can just run that across. But it's too late for that. And then you can put industry on this side. I feel like that's a good use of our materials. We could probably turn that off as a priority. That's not a priority. That doesn't, well, that does not need to be a priority, because that's going to take a while for them to get to the next portion, and gears can be what the gears are. Cool. That's cool. That's in. They can't reach those because reasons. If we grab that, they should be able to reach that without any consternation. And then we should be good to blast that. Of course, it's the middle of the night, so they're not going to be doing anything. I did notice that this is ready for us to explode, which means we can put in an additional triple lodge right here, maxing that out, giving us 9 additional kits to run around and do kit things, which means more workers to cover down our deficit that's caused by our beavers being constantly injured by all of the things. Now, I would like them to get over here and knock that out. That's not going to happen. That's totally fine. We'll let that progress as needed, and we could actually come over here and start doing some more of this, honestly. So let's think about that. So that is running that line this way, running this line this way, and we'll continue this all along this backside so that we can have our large windmill farm that I wanted to have. Yes, I love large windmill farm. It will be glorious, it would be amazing, and it will make me happy. Okay, let's grab that, and then we'll grab that so that they can continue to reach all of the rest of that, and it'll be amazing. Sweet. Let's go ahead and start putting this in. Should be relatively simple, and that puts us in a weird spot right there, which means that piece just goes like that, and then we do this like such as all along those places, and then we do a little bit more of the same on this side. Hopefully I don't foobar this like I did that one little piece earlier. Now we can actually come in here. We can just continue to rip that along to that outer edge. Do the same there. Hit that button right there. Hit those. Hit that. And then hit that. Now, can they actually... No, they cannot, because I took that path out right there. Sweet. Now they should be able to do that. They should be able to reach all of that. Problem is we're running dangerously low on explosives, which is stinky. But it is okay. We will figure it out one way or another. They can't get this. That's 3 planks and 1 log. I'm not going to miss that, so that's gone. And then we can probably... Well, I probably should have saved that. That was silly. And is this even worth the squeeze doing this? Probably not, but I want to do it anyway. And that's all that matters. That's all that matters. And we want that like that. And then let's go ahead and we can put in that right there. It gives us a platform to work off of. And then we do this last little piece or 2 right along there. And then we need to give them a way down. And then a path to work from. Apparently they have access to it, so I don't need that. So that means that I should be able to just rip that across like that, which means that's all connected for free. Education connection is what they say, at least. I don't know why that thing is stuck in my head from the 90s, and I blame PBS for that. I'm looking at you, PBS. Anyway, I digress. Okay, they can't reach those last couple of pieces, which is Okay, now they can actually catch all of that without any problem. They've already got all of that laid, so that is cool. Go ahead and blast all of that out. There we go. I know this is all obnoxiously unnecessary, but it makes me feel better, and it looks a little cleaner. And we can cover it up with platforms if we want to do anything down in here. Then again, technically nothing else is going over here anyway. But it just makes me feel like we did something aesthetically pleasing, which is something rare on this channel. I'm not the best when it comes to aesthetic builds. So it makes me happy to do something that looks a little nicer, you know? Like who's gonna be upset about little me doing a little bit of an aesthetic build every once in a while? I'm not, allegedly. So it does mean a little bit more planning or a little bit looking at stuff. And don't think that we'll be able to place one here on this corner. Yeah, we can't. So there's no need for those last two pieces there. So we probably don't even need to blast all this out, honestly. Right? Yeah, there's no need. So that'll be the last piece. That's fine. We can rip this out. They can come get those explosives back. But that last piece right there is totally fine to go boom. This is fine to go boom as well. And this is fine to go boom as well. Nice. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and start tacking in our last few pieces of this. Like such as... Just making sure I'm lining this up appropriately so I don't foobar it. That means all this gets connected in here like so. And now we come back in and fill in all of these lines. Beautimous. Yeah, absolutely glorious. I love it. It looks amazing. In the future, we'll come in here, fill all this in with dirt. It'll look cool. That'll be great. That'll be beautiful. This is all in, so that is good. They did even put in our triple platform down here, so that is awesome as well. Now we can do the same type of situation down here. So I do need to drop that down by 1, so that needs to go down. That needs to go down as well. So that goes like that and that. Then we go over 1, and then we put one of these right here. Hopefully this works. It does. Good. Good, 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 good. Now we'll leave this one empty for now so they can have a place to get across. I don't know why I just did that like that. That's not how we needed to do that. That's not how we've done any of the rest of the stuff in here like this. So I don't know why I did that like that. Anyway. Okay. So I'm seeing now that that has created a pocket there, and that's created a pocket there and there. That's fine. We'll get that in and rectified, and we'll come back in here and we'll hit this button, and we'll do our 2s all across the way like such as, and then this last one will be there. We'll put these in right here. Beautiful, beautiful. We'll do the same on this end. All by myself. That is in the way, so now that is gone. And we'll go ahead and backfill all of that. And that means that we can start tacking in the rest of these large windmills. Now, all this is being done knowing full well that I need to actually get in on this side over here and start putting in more industry. Now, the problem with that is hopefully we're able to put the industry in right here. And we can. So that is good. And then we can hunt this path over just a tad bit more to accommodate more of that for the larger pieces of industry, like the wood workshop, which is not really keeping up with the demand, it looks like, on all of our sparkly planks required for our scrap metal. But scrap metal is doing decent, so I can't say that that is a fail. So that is good, and I forgot to connect that, so that's probably why things are going a bit slower than anticipated. I do want to give this a priority bump so that that gets accomplished. Probably hit that one there too. Actually, let's rip this out. Let's blast this down by 2. Come on, let me line this up. Down by 2. This down by 1. Give that a priority. Pause that so we don't have beavers going in there and doing anything unnecessarily for a little bit. That's already in. That's exploded. So that is Gucci. Now we come in here and we place this Bad Johnny up like that. And now we run power like such as. I can't explode that for now because reasons. Because they're doing things like putting in all of our windmills for us, which is totally acceptable, but we're about to run out of paper again. So maybe we do some paper mills in here as well. Now the thing that I don't like about paper mills is how they are aligned. It's such an odd base placement or entryway, doorway placement. But it's okay, you know, we'll survive, they'll survive. Things will get accomplished in the end, one way or the other. That's all that really matters. So that's in, that's good. Now we can tack in a couple of our wood workshops, and that'll be glorious. And now we need gears, which means ripping this out. And probably pausing, or actually tearing that out again. Let's blast this down. Have that run across to that side. Let's give that a priority. So we can get that in. Then we'll do another explosive like that to cross. So we'll have a building right there for stuff. You don't need to be in there working right now. I do need them to stop working for like 10 minutes so I can actually get in here and blast all this stuff out since they're active going all over the place. But it's fine. I told them to do the buildings, so it's on me that they're actually in there doing that stuff. Are we out of explosives? No, we're not. Sweet. That's in. Okay, are we good? Can I explode this without causing a problem? Yes. Yes. Is this cheaper than... it's about the same price, so that's fine. And then we'll put our path back on top there to reconnect that. Then we'll run our power. Let's just do this vertical power shaft here, here. Run this line here, and then we just toss our lumber mill on top of that, but I do want to give this all a priority and that as well. So that should allow for power transfer to the other side, and we'll still have connection to our zipline station right here. And one thing that we could do is, again, one of the things I've been thinking about and trying to figure out how I want to actually get this implemented is getting a excavator rocking and rolling. The problem, again, with the excavator is they chew through our beavers. Like no one's business. They eat them alive. Not literally eat them alive, but they don't like it, okay? It's not good for their health. All right, that's in. So that can be connected now. That's good. That means that we'll have power here. And all of this is just being heavily reliant on our couple of batteries right here, right? Or actually this. This is providing 600 units of power, and this is just dumping into the water below. So that's how all this industry is moving right now. But now, this is all going. So, juice. I know how to speak the English language. We got so much juice. Cool. That's in. That's good. Now we can finish tacking in the rest of these or wait for a little bit because we're kind of hampered on our gears. Or we just bite the bullet and rage. Okay, that's 3 more of those, which means 2 more of these, which means re-wrap this around like such as, and that should... I should have put these 2 at the end, honestly. That would have been a better position for all that. Anyway, that's fine. Everything's fine. Clear some of that out, and now we can come in here and do some more... What? Do we care for the printing press right now? We've got... You know, it's not a bad thing, honestly. Go ahead and get those up and running, just because we need that moving. The logs are right there. They don't necessarily have quick and easy access to that right now, but if I just do that, and now they do, which means they can go right there. I wish I could rotate this. Really, 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 really wish I could rotate this, but alas, I cannot. It's fine. Now, we need a way to run the power across here, which is going to look a little something like this. We're going to drop that one little explosive right there, give this a priority bump. Probably drop these priority-wise. No, that's the wrong button. Drop those priority-wise. The power's connected. That's all that really matters in the end. I just want this in right there. And now I would like to grab one of these structures. Right here. Maybe not that one. Definitely not that one. Okay. That should work. And that will allow us to run the power out and over and then down. Sweet. So that means we can do this. Then we can do this. Connect that right there. Grab this bad Johnny. Not put that right there. Connect this right here. Grab here. Rip that across. Connect that there. Put this here. And then bada bing, bada boom. That's connected. Now we need a set of stairs to get down there to do all of that. And we need planks. And logs. Well, logs are fine. We need planks. This is getting chopped down though, so that is good to see. And we'll be able to put another forester back here to fill in the rest of that. And we maybe even be able to put a few more trees back there. I don't know how well they'll fit on that second tier, but we could try. Or we could maybe put, I don't know, that might be unnecessary, not worth the squeeze, if you will. Did they put this in? They did. Thank you. Great. They took that out too. Even more great. And then I wanted a 3 right here. And a 4 right here. And then a 3 right here to save some material, I guess. And that right there and right there. A set of stairs to go up right here. Pathway to connect all that. And then we do batter dock. And then we do wheat. Maybe we could do the same to put in some more for our cattail as well, but we're not really doing much in the way of cattail on this side. We've got this little area. Maybe we'll cut a portion of this out and do cattail since And we're doing fine on cattail flower, cattail roots. We're doing okay on 2, so maybe I'm not too concerned with it. Now, sunflower seeds, on the other hand, geez, I'm always lacking or slacking on the sunflower seeds. It's every playthrough. The sunflower seeds are always a problem for us. Every single time. But that's okay. You know, it's okay, guys. But I had a plan to deal with that by doing something like that. There, more sunflower seeds. Carrots, we're doing just fine on sunflower seeds. We're doing more or not fine on potatoes. We're doing absolutely fine on. We do need to start storing up more potatoes, though, because we're going to run through those like no one's business with the future refineries that we're going to have to use in order to make all of the juice for our beavers. Now, let's see here. Industry is up and running over here. That's good to see. We still don't have enough kits to meet the demand for all of our positions, which a lot of those positions are just hauling post positions, so that's acceptable, but it's not exactly how I would like it to work. And then I would also like to get storage a little bit more cleanly inset over here. Let's see. So we did want to do the printing press here for no other reason than we can, which is fine. That can go in right there like that. What else did we want to put up here? We're fine with the smelters elsewhere for now, I suppose. They are quite a ways away, but we've got a power system. We've got... It works for now. We are going to consolidate that over here in the future, right? And this is all just outside of the reach, so that's why they haven't touched it yet. And this all requires a power system as well, which means that we get to continue to wrap that power around here somehow. So we can feed into this so that we can have perpetual, or I wouldn't say perpetual, just a continual source of juice for our stuff. But this is all almost connected, so that is good to see. I don't know how they were able to get to some portions of that, but not other portions, but I'm not going to ask questions. The thing is that it got connected for the most part, and that means that we can do something like, I don't know, this. Is that too much? That's probably way too much. Let's do a double, triple. Can they reach that? They should be able to reach that. Yeah, they should be able to reach that just fine. That means that we do need to give this a priority bump because they have a bunch of other things to take care of, and give that a bump as well. Sweet! I love it. I love it a lot. How are we doing plank-wise? It's moving in a direction. I would not say it's moving in the greatest of directions, but it is moving in a direction, and that's all that matters. So I will call that a win there. Now, the question here is, do we raise this up a level back in here so that we can fill in the rest of this, and that's just a full thing of water in there? And that might save us from having to have this guy in here. That would keep all of this irrigated for a prolonged period of time. And it being too deep means it should reach back to here, maybe? Now, it's not going to cover all this, but it also saves us from having to keep this guy working too, right? So let's do that. Let's go ahead and grab this levee. Fill that gap in right there. Theoretically, they should be able to reach that. Now we need to come over here somehow. Pull the layers down. Grab this. Grab these stairs. Go up here. Grab the levee one more time. put it right in there, and that should allow us to fill this in the too high by tearing this out and putting the another set of levees on top. Or not levees, sluices? Because I can't go higher here, right? Because 1.0 is the cap, and that's not going to be really helpful in any way, fashion, shape, or form. Yeah, we'd have to rip that portion out, which means we'd be down a layer. We would have to come back here and pause this one for a minute, which means all of this would drain out for a second into this, which is not very great, but it's a short pain to get new things moving for us, so I don't think that's really a bad thing, honestly. Have them stop planting this line right here. That's it. 41%, that's totally fine. That's acceptable. I'm okay with that. These guys are all working, though. Your productivity is poopy. You guys are waiting on planks because planks are in high demand. I know. I caused the demand problem. But I think we can probably start thinking about tearing some of this stuff out over here, right? That'll be a few planks for them to come rescue. This is all connected now, right? Yes. It's over 9,000. Does that mean we won? It's over 9,000. I think that means that we won. We won the war. I mean, I think that means we beat Vegeta, right? Maybe? I don't know. Either way, I'm happy about it. So that's all that really matters, I suppose. Uh-huh. Uh-huh, uh-huh, uh-huh. Uh-huh, 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 uh-huh. I think, at least in my head, that's how that's supposed to work anyway. So I will call that the win that I at least think it is. Now, why are you guys already coming over here and placing platforms and stuff? You guys don't even have the planks to do that. You're in there, and you're gonna make books. I don't have a place to store any of those books. And I would like to flip this, and I would also... Okay, so, where are we going to run this? How much are we producing? 1957 is the supply. The demand is... What, 200 a pop over here for one of these bad Johnnies? Let me see. 200. So that's 1,000 horsepower required. We've got that, and then some over here. All right, I want dirt. We're gonna do dirt. That means we're gonna do dirt. So that is going to go right. I want it in a position to where I can place or save some of the dirt too. So maybe right there. And we can put a large or an underground pile right here. And that can be, well, we can even blast this out right here. Put another underground pile right there. Probably not that far over. Because we only need enough for a couple portions, but we do need to blast this out. We need to not put that in quite yet. We need to blast this out as well, so we can run some power over it. So let's give this a priority, and let's give this a priority. Let's drop this priority wise. This is going to be dirt. Let's go ahead and prioritize the things that we'd like to get accomplished first. This is probably a waste of materials to do this like this. Honestly, it probably is, but yeah, I can't be bothered. Okay, I'm gonna do ridiculous and obnoxious things, and it's gonna like, who's gonna build 40,000 windmills like this? Me. Heck, we could even put more windmills on top of this if we wanted to, and I'm tempted to. Just because I like to have all the juice. Look at this. There we go. Look at all that juice available to us. And it's feeding all this. And I do want to run this over there though still. So that's going to be a problem to solve, but it shouldn't be that hard of a problem, theoretically. But that goes in right there. Then we can put that dirt excavator right there, and then we put our stairs right here like that. And they've already got that posted, so that's gonna be Gucci. And then that goes like there, that goes le boom, and then this turns into another. Actually, what does this require? Hold up, pause X. You just take time. Make dirt. Okay, never mind. I remember it used to cost extract back in the day, so that's on me. Sweet. Industry is being repaired. We're catching up on industry. I do need to actually expand our centrifuge stuffs a little bit. Because if I'm not mistaken, we come in here to the science side. The refinery. Well, no, we don't need that. We do need more water, though. Because the bots are very water heavy. Unlike the timber or the iron bots, the timber bots use water in food stuffs, just like the beavers. I don't know if they actually require 2 refuels a day, but yeah, but they do get to work 24 hours, and they do get tired if you don't feed them their energies stuffs. But let's see, planks, gears, planks, metal blocks, juice, so we need a refinery to get even the bot part factory going. That's a new thing, I think. And the bot assembler. That's gears. That's planks. Metal blocks are right there. We have dirt moving, so that's cool. We probably don't need that many in there. Producing dirt, we just need a little bit, or not a little bit, a fair amount, right? I want to fill this in for no other reason than we can. Okay, so that's done. That's connected. I do want to run power around, feed into this, so we can keep that stuff running as well, which is totally feasible. We can go ahead and grab this. Since we didn't have to blast the rest of this stuff out, that means we can run all the way across there without any issue. We could probably come in here, just unlock that bad Johnny, fill that hole in that we created earlier. Probably even fill that hole in right there. And then probably fill some more of these holes in unnecessarily. How much dirt have we accumulated? 62? That's nowhere near enough. So we don't need that much dirt, but we can... yeah, do a little bit, maybe? Maybe? Is this excessive? Probably. Yes. Yes, it is. We're not going to do that. Okay, don't be too excessive, me. There are limits, okay? There are limits to my stupidity. Did I need to build that line when I already had this line? No. Did I do it anyway? Yes. Does that mean I'm a goober? Probably. You guys can yuck it up in the comment section all you want. Okay. The thing that matters in the end is we are making progress towards connecting all of our systems up. Now let's go ahead, put that in right there, put that in right there. I don't know if they have the capacity to reach that. Well, they will when I give it to them. Yeah, it's all that matters. Okay, that goes there. Here we go here. That goes here. Rip that across. And then rinse and repeat. But we're going to do a little bit of finagling. Gonna have to hold off on some of the corners because beavers like to get themselves stuck. And we'll hold off on that portion right there. Like I said, beavers like to get themselves stuck. Yep. That's why we can't have nice things, guys. That's it right there. That's the reason. Alright, that's all good. That's all that matters is that it's getting accomplished. And hopefully we don't have to rescue their butts anymore. Whether or not that's a true statement has yet to be determined, but a guy can dream. Now let's give that a priority. And we're waiting for our planks to reach a level that I would like it to reach, which I don't know what that point is yet. I would also like to probably get over here, start doing some stuff on this end. So this is a lot of real estate that we haven't been able to take advantage of. And I would like to take advantage of it storage-wise. But the funny thing is about the underground storage platforms is they go down too deep. So I'd have to go too deep on this. So I'd have to create my overhangs and then fill it in with dirt to too deep on top of that. Or we could just come up here and fill this in back in here, and then we can have our underground storages galore. Or we could rip these guys out and put them somewhere else where they're a bit more out of the way. Like down here, because they don't need to be up here. We need more beavers again. Running out of space down here, honestly. Running out of space down here. We could blast this out. Yeah, let's blast some of this out. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, 2 by 9. Duh. It's right there in front of my face. We've got the explosives on hand. Should be able to accomplish that without too much of an issue. The bad tide is about to be done, so that is good. That is fantastic. Where are all of our planks going to now? Are they all just going into treated planks and into gears? Is probably what's happening. So that being the case, let's do a temporary Zerg rush on our plank manufacturing. Give that a priority bump over this shenaniganry that's occurring. Can they reach that? I don't know. Also, how did I not notice that? Oh, I was going to put that piece right there. Yeah, that right there. Yeah. And that goes back here. Feed this along back to this side, and then they can reach all that. And that will be connected to that. And then that means that we have a little bit more juice connected to the major power system. Which will be great. It'll be glorious. It'll be fantastic. It'll be huge. Now the question is, do we continue to wrap this or drop this? I kind of want to, just because it feels like the cool thing to do. And then maybe we bury all this because that's excessive, and that's kind of another thing that we do is just be excessive. But the problem with burying it is I can't really put these platforms in here. Like there's no way I can really get those in there, and the overhangs don't give us that much leeway unless we stack them on top of each other, and then it's just going to be a massive mountain underneath, and that's not going to be really really helpful. I don't know. I'll think about it, and we'll come up with a solution allegedly at some point in the future. But I'm happy to see that this is almost done. That just needs a connector bit right now. That needs a connector bit right there, and that needs a connector bit right there. This doesn't need a priority because I don't think that we're really doing much else building-wise, but we will click those buttons. They can't reach that, though, which means we've got to give them the way to get up there. Like this. Hello? Oh, I can't put it there. Okay. There. Done. Cool. Sweet. 38 jobs going unfilled. What did I miss? Huh. What did I? It's not the injuries that's tearing us down. Interesting. Okay, well, let's expedite this building then so we can get more kits running. I did not realize I was that far behind on population management and growth. Oops. That is very poor planning on my behalf. Let's go ahead and rip this out as well. We'll get some more housing in here. That's going to be 27 more beds. This will be another, what? Another 6, so 33 more beds. So 66 more beds. Probably not going to be a smart idea to plus up in that big of a rush. But we're kind of at an impasse. I don't understand where all of those beavers ran off to. Like, it's not like they're stuck somewhere. We only have 8 injuries. We didn't have a mass extinction event. Huh. Okay. Well, we caught it before it became too much of an issue, so that's all that really matters, I suppose. Go ahead and blast all that out. Now we put in our double lodge right here. We double lodge right there. We put in another couple of triple lodges. And then we grab this bad Johnny and actually, how do we want to do this? Yeah, no, it's fine. That's for later. We can think about stuff like that later. I was trying to think about how to run water for these guys to have to walk through like a water puddle to go up and in, which would be pretty cool for them, you know. But this is totally fine. And now we've got a solid platform to start building up from if we need to. And that'll be nice and clean. And then we can do the same. We can rip some of this stuff out. Maybe even move the district center somewhere else. Just shocked at how many build positions we're understaffed at. I'm thoroughly shocked by this. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Thought we were doing pretty good. But apparently I was mistaken. Things are moving. Things are grooving. It's all that really matters in the end. We've got this all connected now, so that entire power system is allegedly connected. The cool thing to do maybe is we come back in, we rip out some of these portions, and we put in some more windmills. I don't think that's absolutely necessary. I really don't. Because we've got this massive windmill farm that we're creating right here. We've got our massive gravity battery farm back in here, which we could probably even turn and have go this way and then have it drop on this corner too, which is totally a viable option for us. If we need that much power though, I've probably far exceeded and outstripped this map's capacity to actually feed and clothe all of our beavers. That would be cool, don't get me wrong, but I don't think that's feasible. Now, we could, if we wanted to, get in here and work on a little bit of this while we've got the temperate cycle running. And even place in some of our explosives. And that's fine. We can't even place anything right there anyway. So that's good there. We'll run that along that edge. We'll run this down here. That doesn't need to be right there because we can't really put anything there anyway. And then we'll have the path go along this side, as well as the power. I think, yeah, that'll be a small project for them to work on. That should be primarily just logs, so that shouldn't hurt us in the long run, because we do have a metric poop ton of logs available to us, which is good. We have all of these logs that they're still tearing into slowly but surely. That's being replanted as things progress. I still want to get in here and place another lumberjack, or not lumberjack, forester back in here to fill in these last few pieces, or even fill up in this area as well, or not. I don't know if the juice is worth the squeeze, honestly, but it is something to think about. This did go in though. That's good to see. So we have 2 ton more spatterdock and wheat for all of our friends. That is cool. We could even do something for all of our maple syrup. I should put in some sort of maple syrup storage over here, because that is going to be a big point of contention in the future. I just don't know where to put that in here. Or we just put that over here. One thing I wanted to get at some point is continuing to make our platforms to fill or cover up the rest of this area, so we have some more real estate for storage, for basic storage stuffs like this. Are we out of grilled chestnuts? No, we're not. We're just not cooking them fast enough. I don't know. I'm sorry. I just went squirrel brain moment just then. That's on me. But we shall. I guess I don't know. We'll figure it out. We will figure it out together, and that's all that matters. As former Vice President Al Gore would say. Let's see here. Get that in there. Get that fixed up. That's green. That's Gucci. We could maybe do some more entertainment up here. Yeah, let's do a little bit of well-being stuff while we've got the brain bites. Maybe this is probably ridiculous and unnecessary, but you know what? We can build on top of it. I know I talked about this being a good platform for us to extend and expand and all that other fun jazz, but you know what? It's fine. That just goes like that. We grab this, we grab that, we grab this, grab that. Maybe get that out and we put on another detailer. Here. And then we put decoration. We put a lantern in. Nah. That can't go there, really? There's no way that that is an obstruction. Okay, sure, yeah, it's an obstruction. Okay, I'll allow it. I will allow it. Will a beaver be an obstruction? Yes. Will a roof tile be an obstruction? No. That looks ridiculous. We're not going to do that. Will a shrub be an obstruction? Yes. Will that be an obstruction? Yes. Okay, so nothing's going to go there. Copy. Game. Still want to be friends, huh? You still like to be nice to me? That's the onions. That's fine. Everything's fine. Alright, let's check on well-being. Let's look at this real quick. See what we can do. We do have 3 bee stings. From whom? How? Who got stung by a bee? 8 injuries. Agora's not being used. It's because we don't have any haulers to actually put extract in it. Interesting. Well, let's get that rectified. A few more lanterns around. Put in another farmer's monument. We can unlock the brazier bonding once our planks are back up in a better position. Probably put in a few more detailers, which we've already done. We've got the dirt unlocked now, so we can actually unlock the mud pit and the iron or the timber, or yeah, folktails don't require power for their mud pit. Just requires planks and or sparkly planks, logs, and wheat to build, and then they just need to fill it with dirt on occasion. We can fit a couple of these in here just for entertainment purposes. Okay, that's not where that's gonna go, but that can go right here. Yes. That'll be a nice place for them to hang out. Where are our builders at, though? Are those positions completely empty, too? No, we should have builders now. They're probably all down here doing this. We are gonna, it looks like we're gonna have a max temperate cycle. So that's pretty exciting. That is all in, so that is even more exciting. So that is cool to see. I do want to probably come in here. We'll go up a layer. We'll pause the game real quick. What? Want to go from here out, right? Is that fair assessment? Yes. Or maybe we just put all of... Actually, you know what? Let's rip that out. We can just put the power lines in first before we blast everything out. That should be the smartest option. So let's go ahead and do that. Power lines, and then power lines this way. Power lines cover that corner. That goes out to here. Probably don't need that right there, or right there. There might be one that goes right there. I don't know, but that needs to be there. Cool. let's get them in there. They should be able to knock that out relatively quickly. It's a drought approaching, so we don't have to be racing against time against a bad tide that's going to roll in and cause a problem for us. So that is good to see. That is fantastic. Now, what are they working on now? Unconnected buildings. They got that in. They are putting that in right now, which means that's in. Means they should be putting this in soon. Let's be... I don't know if we need to prioritize these by haulers, but I'll click it anyway. And that means that they can get in there and do that. Let's go maybe contemplation spot right there. Does that fit? It does. You, chestnuts. Still aren't producing enough in the way of sunflower seeds. And again, that's a very tiny plot. Whatever. It's fine. Did they get this in? They did. I don't want to rip this out real quick and put in that sluice gate and get this up max priority, and they can come over here and do that for us. That would be great. Actually, do we need to? No, we don't even need to do that. No, we don't need to do that. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why I was thinking that was necessary. Because that is this height. And that's just going to continually fill down there. It'll irrigate all of that in there. None of this is going to spill anywhere. And that should provide irrigation to this backside, which means that you don't need to be there. It means I could probably tear you out. And, yeah. Beautiful. Sweet. That is awesome. My entire, like, step-down system that I had initially put in here completely thrown out the window. But it's okay. Alright, it's okay. We're fine. I do need to unpause a couple of these positions, though. Sweet, 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 sweet. I love it. Let's drop down here. Let's check out how this is coming along. It's slowly moving. I don't know why you guys are hungry or thirsty. There's no need for that here, guys. But it's alright. Everything's cool when you're part of a team. And this is going to spill over. Did I place this and waste planks? What am I doing? What am I doing? Oh, they put these in too. Get haulers on this. They can bring some dirt in. And that'll be great. Now our kits are growing up so much faster. We should see a sharp spike in our well-being, theoretically. Especially with the Agora working properly now. Wherever that was down here. Contemplation spots. We can pepper a few more of those in throughout the area. Yeah. Great. Beautiful. I love it. I love it a lot. It's amazing. It's beautiful. It's glorious. This is still not the best in productivity, which is kind of stinky. But I still want to move these guys out. Maybe we put food here for these guys and then storage, or storage and then food over here. Don't know. If we cut this line out and then just have food right here, then they should just all run this way. They're either going to run through the zip line to get out and go get food, or they're going to hit the food right here. So storage here wouldn't be a bad idea. We've already got metal block storage, which is none of these things. So that can be converted into lumber or converted into planks here. And then we can store gears right here, paper right here. So we've already got paper storage down here. And gear storage down there as well. But there's nothing wrong with having an additional of those three. So the other question is, can that fit? I think it should be able to fit. Let's go ahead and do that. Get those guys out of here. Let them do other things with their lives. You guys can clean all of that up. So, you, lumber. You, gone. You still provide the appropriate stuff. Now we want small warehouses for food. And small warehouse for water. So, water. Let's go with bread. Let's go with carrot. Probably not carrots. Maple, pastries, spatterdock, potatoes, grilled chestnuts. Sure. Or what was that other one? We could go cattail crackers. That's probably for the better. There we go. So that will provide food and water for those guys. Allegedly, that will help them out. And then we can put in... So lumber, we'll get this set to obtain from our haulers. Now we've got, well, 26 beavers because I just tossed out 26 positions. That's totally fine, totally acceptable. I did that intentionally, don't you know? Which means we could probably sneak in here, get rid of a couple of these things, maybe, and put in our hauling post back in here. Can't really fit that in there. Is this staircase even necessary anymore? It kind of is, because there's no way else to get up there, is there? Hey, 42. That's a big jump. I'll call that a win. I'll call that a win. This is unnecessary, but it makes me feel better when not everything is green. Especially when it's not being actively chopped down, because I haven't been chopping it down in the past forever. And that got cleaned up a long time ago. Sweet. Beautiful. Brilliant. Oh yeah. I could probably rip this out now. Question is, can we reach that? Don't know. That means we can save that position there. And that should, in theory, backfill a little bit. And then we can come down here and tell this to go to... No, 0.4 should be more than enough. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. Now we don't have to fill that position. That saves us a beaver. That'll be great. It'll be huge. It'll be amazing. We can come over here, grab this path. That will give them access to all that. And probably need to check the priority on this. Drop that so we're not burning through all of our planks again. Which should be fine. And I don't think they're actively working on anything else right now other than all of the build or oh no, wait, there it is. Disregard, everything's fine, don't worry about it. Actually, I want that right there. We need gears, we need paper. We're gonna do bots over here. We do need metal blocks. But that can be just a basic storage for metal blocks, right? Maybe we do put metal blocks here as an obtain. And then here's planks, metal blocks, and we need storage for, I don't know, potatoes. And, well, paper's fine. We still need storage for our books, which we haven't been really doing much with, just producing them and immediately reading them, which is acceptable. And I think industry's probably at a decent enough spot right now for us to go ahead and get this going. Boosh, boosh, and skadoosh. Like such as, and so. And we come around this backside. We rip that out. We rip this out. And we fill in the rest of this with some dirt. As we can. And then we have a little bit more real estate back here to play with. Unpause the game. Let's let them rock and roll. And we'll figure out a way to get on top of there, because that's kind of where I want to put our pot assembler is on top. And I want storage back here for... we don't need... We need that there like that. Will that fit anywhere else? Let's see about that. Can we fit this in like that? No, we can't. I don't know why I thought we could. If I did this, could we? No. I don't know why I'm thinking that I can fit tiny... Whatever. Whatever. That's fine. Everything's fine. That is... What do we say? I don't know. Gears. I need planks up here too. Why am I not storing planks up here? Planks. Why can I not place that? That's strange. Very strange. Okay. Planks. We have metal blocks. We have logs. We have planks. Obtain is selected. We've got all this going in. Dirt is going to take a little bit. We could probably plus this up just a tad bit because we do have a bunch of beavers running around with nothing to do with their hands. We've got this position that's in here. That can get maxed out. We've got now 20 additional beavers with nothing to do with their hands. And now probably blast this out and fit a few more in, or we could put in another hauling post right here. And we could put in another builder's hut right here. Sure. That will fill those positions for us relatively quickly. Let those beavers do some stuff. We can unpause this to get science rocking and rolling again. This is going in, so that's all that matters, and we can enjoy the beauty of things getting accomplished, theoretically. Go ahead and get that priority, though. We should have enough dirt to meet the requirements or fill that in, allegedly. They are doing the things. They're bringing dirt over. Haulers are bringing logs in. They're having to travel halfway across the world to get all of the dirt, which means we should probably do something like that to help out a little bit, I guess. Obtain, priority, supply. They are working this a little bit faster now. And we've got plenty of juice for all of the things. Power's kind of at a standstill because, well, the wind's kind of at a standstill, but we've got plenty of juice in all of the gravity batteries to help circumnavigate, or to help deal with that problem. I know English. That is good. Y'all are sat on your bums for some strange reason. I feel like you're not actively doing anything. Because you're out of scrap. It is because you're not out of scrap. It's because I'm out of haulers. It's because the haulers have all disappeared. Well, let's fix that by putting in some more hauling posts. And that's going to be additional 15 positions filled, another 24 positions taken care of. That's haulers and builders, so that should be fine, theoretically. And then we've paused that position. That's fine. I don't think anybody can actually reach that other than you, though. You can. You're just busy doing all the other stuff. Sweet. I love it. I love it a lot. How's this doing? This is probably what they're focusing on right now anyway. I do need to give them a way to get down there, don't I? Yeah, I should have thought about that. But I did not. It's all right. There are ways to get this, to get around this. There are ways to do the thing. Allegedly. We'll figure it out. We get down there. I should have done doubles. I don't know why I only did singles. That was dumb of me. Oops. That's fine. We'll go back in. We'll blast that out. That'll be okay. We'll get it figured. We'll get it fixed. Get this prioritize, obtain, and I think we'll call it there. I did not mean for this episode to go nearly as long as it did. But we did a lot of things. We connected the power. We got dirt moving. We got this going. We unlocked bots. So that's cool. I'm excited about bots. We expanded our beaver population by a third. So there's also that. That'll be an interesting problem to deal with in the future, as food and water requirements have just doubled basically for forever. I like where we're at. Things are looking pretty good. Why is there poo water in there? Why is there poo water in there? Huh. There should not be poo water in there. Yeah. I don't know why that's like that. Anyway, I digress, guys. I hope you did enjoy this episode. If you did, please hit that like button. If you have not already hit that subscribe button, I would appreciate that as well. We are on our way to the mythical 1,000 subscriber mark, which is amazing. And it's glorious. And I did not think that we'd ever make it this far, or as far as we have. But I will let you guys go. I hope you guys have a fantastic day wherever you're on the world. Make sure you guys keep yourselves rocking and rolling in the free world. Keep yourselves nice and hydrated. Keep yourselves nice and thirsty as well. And we'll catch you all in the next episode of... I don't know what to do with all of these windmills. I'm out. See ya!